The hegemony of Kethvar had ruled the Andromeda Spiral for 3 millennia, their empires spanning 1,000 worlds. When humanity's first diplomatic envoys arrived seeking peaceful trade agreements, the alien nobility had laughed. These hairless apes from a backwater system dared to speak as equals to the masters of known space. King Vorthax the Eternal, sovereign of the hegemony, delivered his response personally via subspace transmission. The massive reptilian ruler, adorned in crystalline armor that had never seen battle, sneered at the human delegation. "Your species exists at our sufferance," he declared, his voice echoing through the halls of his crystal palace. "You will submit to vassal status, surrender 70% of your resources, and provide tribute in the form of 1,000,000 human slaves annually. Refuse, and we will demonstrate why we have never lost a war." Ambassador Helen Grant, representing the Terran Federation, maintained her diplomatic composure even as her jaw tightened. "Your Majesty, we prefer peaceful coexistence. Perhaps we could discuss." "There is nothing to discuss," Vorthax roared, his massive fist slamming onto his throne. "You have one standard week to comply, or face the full might of our armadas. We have crushed species far more advanced than your primitive civilization." The transmission ended with the king's harsh laughter echoing across space. Ambassador Grant's final diplomatic message was brief. "We respectfully decline your terms. Earth awaits your response." The hegemony's first fleet arrived at the Sol System's edge with tremendous fanfare. Admiral Kex Thor commanded 800 warships, each one larger than anything in humanity's navy. They expected to find a cowering species ready to surrender. Instead, they found empty space. The human fleet had vanished, leaving behind only automated defense platforms that seemed almost insultingly inadequate. Kex Thor ordered the advance, confident in his overwhelming numerical superiority. The platforms activated simultaneously, revealing themselves to be something far more sinister than defensive weapons. Massive gravity wells erupted throughout the hegemony formation, dragging ships from their intended vectors. Before the aliens could react, the human fleet materialized from hyperspace, having used the platforms as navigation beacons for a precision jump. Captain Jessica Martinez's dreadnought Retribution emerged directly behind the enemy flagship. Her first salvo punched through shields that had never been penetrated, crippling the massive vessel before it could return fire. "Welcome to human space," Martinez broadcast on all frequencies as her fleet tore into the confused alien formation. "Class is now in session." The battle lasted 4 hours. When it ended, only 12 hegemony ships limped home to report the impossible. Humanity had annihilated their fleet while losing only 6 vessels. King Vorthax's second attempt involved 3 fleets and his personal intervention aboard the fortress ship Eternal Glory. The massive vessel, large enough to house a small moon, had never been defeated in its 1,000-year history. It lasted exactly 17 minutes against the combined human assault. Colonel Ryan O'Brien led the boarding parties that swarmed through the breached hull of the Eternal Glory. His Marines moved with terrifying efficiency, their powered armor allowing them to fight in the ship's damaged sections where atmosphere had been vented. They found King Vorthax in his throne room, surrounded by his elite guard. The massive alien ruler, who had never personally fought a battle, watched in horror as human soldiers methodically cut down his protectors. "Impossible," he whispered as O'Brien approached. "We are the masters of space. We have conquered 1,000 worlds." "Not today," O'Brien replied, magnetic restraints clicking around the king's massive limbs. The streets of New Geneva had never seen anything like it. Thousands of humans lined the avenues as the armored transport moved slowly through the city. Inside the transparent containment field, King Vorthax the Eternal sat in shackles, his crystalline armor replaced with the simple gray uniform of a war criminal. The crowd was eerily silent, their faces reflecting a cold satisfaction as they watched the once mighty ruler reduced to a captive being transported to trial. Children pointed and asked their parents who the strange alien was. Veterans of the brief, but brutal war watched with grim approval. News feeds carried the image across human space and beyond. The self-proclaimed master of the galaxy, defeated and humbled, being dragged through human streets like a common prisoner. The remaining hegemony worlds sued for peace within days. The age of alien dominance in Andromeda was over, ended not by negotiation or gradual change, but by the swift, decisive action of a species that refused to kneel. Humanity had sent a clear message to the galaxy: demand war, and you might just get more than you bargained for.